Hi, I'm Bopsto, the Outer Weed,
And I'm Red, the bald-headed wonder.
and we are the Anime Boys.
The anime boys. And little did you know, Bopsto is a Pokemon.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about
Oh,
that. Hey,
we
if you want to know
very
what,
much do talk about that, and
if you want to know what we're
just
talking about,
expect
go
just
to
expect a
TikTok.
little clip of you guys. I'm just gonna let y'all know that now.
Uh,
Um,
should we edit the clip in here? Is that what
uh,
you're gonna do?
I might not. We'll figure out what I
Oh
want to
man.
do.
Well, if you do, you'll hear it probably within the next 3 seconds.
Probably like right now.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
I'm Bopsto, the Outer Weed. That was a pretty good clip, not gonna lie.
It really was, right? Like,
All right. Listen, I knew I was deep down secretly a Pokemon ever since I was a kid back in like 1985.
bro, that was
First
the most
proto Pokemon.
disgusting Pokemon sound. Like,
I
Muck would be disgusted by
yeah,
that.
I identify
Muck
with
would be disgusted by
yeah,
that.
I bet he would.
And he's just like
Fucking,
nuclear garbage. I mean,
I bet he would, that fucking freak. Yeah. Well, anyways, hey, we're back with more Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah,
all
Jujutsu,
right.
we fucking love it.
Fucking dude, I
more,
can't.
more Mappa goated shit. They're
Dude,
holding
the
themselves
animation
back.
is way better. Way better. It was a
Yeah,
lot more streamlined in this episode than it was even in the first episode because
yeah,
they went with a different style in the first episode. They really
yeah.
did. They hit like all
Well,
different.
I I've got to. I'm gonna save what I want to say about this season, and
Okay.
because it clicked with me when we got to a certain point in this episode. You probably know what point that I'm talking about, but we'll get there when we get there. But
Okay.
so before we get into the thick of it,
Into the thick of it.
into the thick of it. Yeah, but before we get into the thick of it, hey, if you like this video, give us a like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Fucking, we'd love to discuss this episode and any other anime you guys might have for us in the comments.
Future episodes to come. We
Yeah,
need. I would, me and him both would just love to hear what you guys really thought about it.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you thought about it. If you got suggestions for what kind of series you'd like to see us cover in the future, give us that shit, man.
And
We'll watch it. At
yeah,
some
we'll
point.
definitely watch it. But saying all that, let's lead on in. Let's keep the train rolling.
Get on in. So we left off last episode. We were about Gojo and Geto were given their target to escort, which is this lady who has been chosen as the vessel for Lord Tengen, the immortal godlike figure that is the very foundation of all the barriers within Jujutsu society.
Correct.
And just when they're about to go in, turns out, oh no, terrorists attacked and blew up the fucking apartment. Al Qaeda. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Banana phone.
Banana phone, yeah.
Bro just got blasted.
Thought we were gonna get like a big old epic fight, but here we open up the episode. Geto, he's helped himself to some nice tea. And as we just get this fucking shot of like the destroyed apartment complex, it's like, oh, he's making tea.
No, it's not even that. It's as he's actively making the tea, which looked beautiful, might I add.
Yeah.
Like the scene itself was animated, just
like
chef kiss perfectly.
I like the way the tea sort of steeped into the water and the water stays.
Oh yeah, dude, exactly.
I think it might have been pink hibiscus tea.
I don't know.
I don't know. But he made him some tea, dropped in a sugar cube. All while the poor dude that he faced off against in the last episode is like screaming and fucking in agony.
And I just love how it pans out from him doing that. You just see this fucked up apartment building.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden it pans out even further to he walks across to the chair. He walks past his target that he's supposed to be retrieving and her maid, and he sits down on the chair, turns over. This dude's getting absorbed by this cursed spirit that Kato has done released, and it's trying to molest the guy. Like this dude's just getting.
It was its kiss like, hey baby, give me a kiss.
I want your kisses.
I want your kisses.
Kiss me. Kiss me.
Yeah, come on, give me a kiss.
That's my purse.
Oh yeah. The cursey son was Bobby.
Oh dude. Dude, I want to put Bobby's face on one of the fucking heads.
That'd be fucking good. That'd be great. But anyways, the guy's like fucking pleading him. He's like, yo, could you like fucking let me go? I'll stop being a curse user. I won't be part of Q no more. I won't do none of this, man.
I think Gato, I fucking love it. Oh man.
I love how much like I don't want to say extra personality because it was already kind of there in the manga, but they added more to it, so you have like a better idea of what these characters are about.
Right, correct.
Like they added on to because like, Gato's already kind of like that in the manga, but man, they really fucking added.
Oh yeah.
To it, where he's like, huh? Sorry, can't hear you, man. Can't hear over the smooching.
Can't hear you over all that, you know. I can't hear you over all that consent I'm hearing over there.
And it's like, oh man, well you know what? You might have beat me, but my buddy Bayer, he's like the biggest fucking badass in Q. He will fuck your other friend up.
Dude, and the fucking timing of this stupid fucking message tone. His phone goes off, and it's this little cutesy fucking, like, ringtone. And, he picks up the phone, he flips it open, and Gato don't say shit. He just turns the phone and, like, makes him look at it, and then he's just like, is this Bayer?
And it's just fucking Gojo's taking a fucking selfie with Bayer.
And it looks so cool because it's, you know, they're using old ass flip phones, and they showed the pixelation of the picture.
The pixels, that thing's like 240p at best.
Man, like, try to say that 10 times fast. Pixelation of the perfect picture.
Hell yeah. But I'm like, oh shit. And so Gojo's heading back on up. I'm trying to fucking remember what he fucking picks up the girl.
Yeah, he picks up the
out. He's walking around, all of a sudden she wakes up.
Well, don't they no, they haven't. This doesn't like bleed into him yet. This is the next scene. But yeah, she wakes up and she just fucking jack slaps his ass, dude. Yeah. I mean, so hard.
What I want to add about the scene is that, you know, with Infinity, he has to allow the thing to make contact with him.
Yeah. He just let her slap him. Imagine the flex with if he would have just stopped her hand.
Mm-hmm.
It just did the, like, you know, the typical Gojo shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wondering why they missed out on that, you know?
Yeah.
Because that would have been kind of cool.
I think it's like the show, like, he hasn't fully perfected his technique yet, which we'll get onto much later.
That is true.
Which is something that gets touched on much later in this arc.
Well, actually, it gets touched on in this episode. It gets touched on
here, but I'm talking about, like, the act of him perfecting it. And
correct.
But so he gets fucking bitch slapped. It fucking drops her, and she's all like freaking out. What are you fucking perv? And like Gato's like, oh come on man, calm down. And he's like, what about you fucking weird ass sideburns man? And then Gato, you just see this look on Gato's face, like I'm gonna fucking kill this bitch. I'm gonna get this bitch. And then it just cuts.
It cuts us over to our boy.
Yeah.
You know, knowing the information that I know about this man, I can't say that I hate the guy, you know? He is the antagonist, you know?
Yeah.
But some part of me just I don't know. Like, most of the time you have like a genuine hatred for the antagonists and that's just normal.
Yeah.
I have no disdain nor disgust towards this character.
Yeah.
Like,
so we got our mystery man, because I don't believe the anime has yet to still say his name.
Nope.
So we got our mystery man here.
Mystery man.
He's sitting. He's at the boat races, which me and Red both could have sworn it was horse races in the manga.
I swear we thought it was, because
we were both wrong, because I guess most people, when you think of a person gambling at something like a race, it's usually a horse race.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's what happened, and sort of added to this Mandela effect where we kind of like gaslit ourselves.
Right.
But
it just kind of looked right, like,
yeah,
it really did just look the part.
Which one thing I didn't even know there were boat races to gamble on.
Well, you could gamble on fucking anything, dude.
Well, I know, but I didn't know like boat races were a thing.
Well, I'm sure they're big in other places, but horses are big here.
Horses and like greyhounds.
Yeah, greyhounds and horses. That, and in England, I believe they're super big. But boats, I'm like you. I mean, I'm sure it's a gambling thing, but I'm not sure how big the sport is for for that to be gambled on. But no, he's sitting there gambling his winnings that he got from this. I guess it was the society, like the church, like the church of like the people who worshipped Tenjin as he is. Hired him to take out the girl, like to take out the target. And so in his way of doing that, he just goes to fucking boat races and sits it out. And his little buddy comes in, the little guidance counselor, I call him. And he's just like, so what you doing here, bud? And he's just like, oh, I'm just, making some money. And he's sitting there just like, well, why aren't you going after the target like you were hired to do? And he's just like, look, man, I just don't want to yet. Like I got my plans, I got my methods. Just leave me be. And at this very moment in time, it shows him lose the fucking the bet that he made.
Yeah.
And I love the cut because it cuts into the guy saying, "Yeah, easy money doesn't suit you very well." And while we're on the subject here at hand about this character, the difference between him and the anime and the difference between him and the manga,
he's big. Way more, like I said, he's way more toned in the anime than the manga.
Bopsto, if you'll pick up the 8th volume.
1 second. Let me consult the archives real quick.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing. Luckily, mine's sitting right next to my desk, so I don't have to worry about it. Oh, shit. Just notice that oh, no, that's... Okay, that's just part of it. It's taking you this long to find this volume? What the hell?
Remember, the shelf's across the room.
I mean, I don't know where you set your laptop at.
On my bed.
Huh?
It's on my bed. It's on a...
Oh, so you just chill out on your bed? I wasn't sure how you recorded.
Yeah.
Man, I got this whole setup on my desk. So the way that he's portrayed at the front of that volume cover, and for anybody who's wanting to really just know, just look up volume 8 of Jujutsu Kaisen cover. And you'll know the difference if you've seen the anime. Or this episode of the anime, you could tell that this is kind of more of his build in the anime. But if you flip to him in that same manga, or that volume, and flip over to where it introduces him, you can see that he kind of still has the same build. It's just that his clothes are super fucking baggy.
It's easier to see his more sort of
muscle tone.
And it's toned down physique in 9 when he's like fighting. That's usually the panels a lot of people cite are like the panels where he's fighting. Like he looks noticeably slimmer.
There was but running off that little tangent, there was one part I don't know, I just didn't like about this scene. And this is just, Red's truth coming out here.
Yeah.
Whenever they went over to him right before the scene transferred over, the guidance counselor guy, he asked him, he said, "So how's Megami?"
How's Megami?
And I hated how long it just shifted, like they went through 3 different scene transitions. I don't know if you noticed that. It popped in 3 different camera views.
Yeah, it's like him like showing like the gears fucking working in his brain, trying to fucking recall who the fuck this guy is trying to tell him about.
I mean, it's obvious that he knows who this is, though. I mean, it's not like he just up and fucking forgot him. I think he's just ignoring the existence of Megami.
We'll talk about
it later, but
about it later.
But that's my theory. Actually, but I hated just how long it took.
Actually, it might not be something you don't fully get into until Shibuya incident, maybe depending.
I mean, it's going to be in Shibuya whenever you find out more about it. Actually, no, it's not in Shibuya.
I'm talking about with his motivations himself.
Well, no, I'm not talking about his motivations. I'm just talking about his relationship.
Yeah, but anyways, that's beside the point. That's way in the future. He's just basically who new phone, who this, who the fuck you talking about, man?
Who are you talking about? Who the hell's Megami? And then it just cuts back over to Gojo and Gato and the maid.
Kuroi, the maid's coming up. She's riding on one of fucking Gato's little curse things.
Actually, this happened in the last scene, but we'll cover it now.
And she just comes into fucking both Gato and Gojo trying to rip this girl apart because she fucking roasted both of them.
She did, and then they just grabbed one end of like Gojo had the arms, Gato had the legs, and they were like twisting this girl.
Yeah.
And then she just hit the ground, and then the maid scolded her. That's the beautiful part.
Yeah.
The maid scolded her.
You shouldn't be so fucking rude. That's not how you be a lady.
Like, these people are not our enemies. Like, quit trying to fucking fight them right now. Just do what they say. And at this moment, she realizes Gojo is like, you don't really talk very well at school either, dude. You don't probably have very many friends. And then she just busts out like, I talk differently to my friends at school.
Oh, yeah, like, keep going about because like basically, so Riko is resigned to her fate of becoming one of fusing with Tengen. I almost said Tensen. Fuck. Wrong anime,
dude. Come on.
Oh man, that would have been bad if that was the other way around. Oh god. Oh no.
I would have had to punk you out, dude.
Punk me out, man.
I would have.
But basically, she's resigned to her fate of fusing with Tengen. She's like, oh no, it's not gonna be all bad because like whenever we do, my soul and will live on. Like I will be both myself and Tengen. She's like really cocky and like basically like kind of like psyching herself up to what she's like walking to, and to basically her walking into her death.
Right.
And they're like, oh yeah, man, you must not be fucking popular. Like you said, you must not be popular at school. She's like, I don't talk like this at school.
And then it immediately hits. The gong in her head slaps. Yeah. And it's it hits in the sense of oh shit, I gotta go to school. So they end up taking her to school, and we get this like really pretty like transition into the school's like old pool house almost. Like it's like I guess I've never been to a school with a pool. I don't really know what they would call it, pool room or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that one's like more like a casual pool for like a swimming class and not like an actual like swim team pool.
But it's connected to the, like I said, it's old, it's dilapidated, and it's like murky, but it looks really fucking pretty. Like all the algae's on top of the water. You get this nice, beautiful reflection of Gojo sitting over the water on the phone.
Which is, it's weird because this takes place in August.
Yeah, but they're inside. So like it's probably just germs. That's
maybe
because if you don't clean out the pool with like chlorine tablets and stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So it's weird the pool's not being maintained in August.
Well, it's probably like an old pool that they just let go. Like they probably don't use it anymore.
School is still going on.
Well, yeah, but it's probably just been abandoned, is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
And then again, it never did cover it. It might not even be attached to the school because they're just there hovering almost. Maybe they're just outside the grounds in a hiding spot so they're not seen, So it was never fully discussed it was actually part of the school, but it did look very pretty. Like it looked really, really pretty. But we get this part where Gojo's on the phone. Like it would make more sense if we would have just brought her back to the high school. And but under Tengen's orders, she is to live out her last day to the fullest, and whatever she wants, she gets. Yeah, and they hang up on Gojo.
And those are orders from Tengen as well.
Yeah.
You fulfill whatever request she has.
Yeah, and he gets hung up on, and Gojo's just like, well, this is stupid. This brat's getting tended to, and we're taking all the risk. And Gato hits him with this like philosophy shit, man. He just hits, or like a realization, like, or an epiphany of sorts. Like, hey man, think of it this way. This is her last day on Earth to say any goodbyes that she has to any of her friends, because they will no longer be able to associate after today.
Because basically she'll be stuck underneath the foundation of the school.
The school, yeah. And because she is, and I don't know if we ever really fully covered the process of it, but basically Tengen enters her body and takes over her form, but he keeps his mind and his soul. So basically she goes bye-bye. Her body still remains, but her spirit and her soul and her mind are just not connected. I think in a form she stays connected to Tengen, because Tengen is like a mass of multiple souls and people. Yeah. So it's like a big mass of like community almost within one being within this like cool like little space-time continuum box that he's in. Sorry, I just wanted to describe it a little bit better. But this is her last day, and Gojo's just like, whatever. But the maid's just sitting over there like, like she's basically just thanking and telling them what she's like, or like what the girl is like, and Gato is just like, so you must be her family.
Yeah, because she's an orphan.
Right.
That her maid is the only one who's been looking after her all these years.
Right.
And then immediately Gato's like, oh shit. The two of my Shikigami are out. We need to fucking move in quick.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go now. And which is neat that he can just know that. Yeah. Like it's just connected to him in a form, like you could just feel it. Like it's like a sense. But no, they get in a huff. Like they have to get, because they have to get her and then dip because she's in danger. And I can't remember if it cuts into the next scene or if it covers the fight first. Which one was? I think the fights came last.
I think the fights came last. Then we got this other scene, and then it like
because it explains. Yeah, it explains why the. Okay, yeah. So go ahead. Go ahead.
So basically, the bounty's been updated. It's now a wanted dead or alive, and it's got a time limit now, meaning more people are going to be fucking after this shit. And we cut back to our mystery man, who's now he's chillaxing out in the little, I guess it's like the concessions area for the racetrack. and he's chowing down on some fucking
and this is so fucking
skewers.
It man,
yeah.
I'm about to throw up just thinking about it again.
Those eating sounds. And he's sitting there just fucking chowing down, and the guy's calling like, you need to fucking move in. What are you doing? He's like, I'm gonna let them wear themselves out.
Because he's basically told the guy, he's like, look, Gojo is one of her bodyguards. There's nothing I can do if I just pop up, you know?
Yeah.
So we're gonna let his power wear down a little bit by sending some goons.
Because he's basically playing the fucking long game, because he's like, well, you know what, the fucking money will just will end up coming back to me anyways. So I'm gonna sit this out and just strike whenever the moment needs it.
Right. What's the rush? You know, what's the rush?
And while this is going on, I like how it's like he's sort of like almost like using the boat race he's watching as a way to gauge his like luck with how his encounter would turn out. Because like the boat he's voting on is like taking the lead. Like, oh, it looks like shit's going good, but then all of a sudden the boat loses balance.
And this was at the same time that the guy asked him if even if he could do it, because he told the guy that he basically said nobody can beat Gojo, or nobody can get to Gojo. And he said, not even you. And that's when the boat race started transitioning away from, the one that he chose. And I really liked the way it gauged it as well. Like, this was a very well, detailed scene. And honestly, I don't know if you caught it either. I was looking back at the scene in the manga just a little bit ago while we were talking about it earlier. And it's doing that while he's talking.
Yeah.
Like, it covers it in the manga, too. So... so far, there's only been really, really slight but really good variations. Where sometimes you'll get massive transitions, not transitions, but variations from the manga. So far, it's been really good and to the letter, and I'm enjoying it. It doesn't scream this is the manga, because it has its own little spin and style and scene moments that they've swapped up for synergy. So getting that off my chest, we can continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So it's like, all right, I'll head out here in a little bit. You better have my fucking 30 million ready. And he's like, oh, haha, very funny. He's like, oh no, sorry, you break it up.
Yeah, you're breaking up. Service is dropping.
Doesn't even try. I like how he's like one of the things he goes from a chicken skewer to eating takoyaki, and I like the way he fucking crushes it with his chopsticks. So I'll say that as an experience as somebody who's recently had takoyaki for the first time.
Lucky fucker,
yeah,
dude.
Which is really fucking good, by the way. You might think oh, it's odd that he's crushing it. No, it's the takoyaki itself is very soft because it's all sort of gooey inside.
I want to eat one so bad.
Well, next time you're down, we'll go over to the place and you can have we can
definitely doing that. Definitely.
But it's it's gooey on the inside, so it's very weak on the outside. It's easy to crush. And so that's sort of why it's sort of he fucking crushes it the way he does, and then why it starts to sort of leak when he crushes it. So we cut back to Gojo and pals.
Oh, we did miss a scene while they were talking, where he was walking over to the tea machine.
Oh yeah, he was going over to the tea machine,
and he bumped into a guy and knocked his ramen off in the floor. Or his udon, and then as he just actively bumped the dude, that guy just fucking tumbles, and he's just standing there, and this kind of gauges somewhat of how tough he is, to a degree. It's a normal fucking older man, but he hits the ground and then he just keeps walking, right? And then the older man's just like, hey, wait a minute. And then he just drops down into his face.
He just looks at him.
Yeah, doesn't say shit. And that guy's just like, no, never mind. He gets his drink, and when he's walking back, he steps in the guy's noodles on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wanted to touch on that because that was
really wet fucking sound too.
No, like the fucking food sounds and the chewing sounds were about to send me to vomit, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that sound that they put in there, and I know it was like obviously, you know, recorded somebody actually eating that shit, but like I just couldn't do it, dude. Like I was about to throw up listening to that shit. I don't know. It's just it's like right in your ears and in your face, dude. It's like
It's like the nail files.
I can't stand the sound of somebody chewing though. Like that is such like a set off for me because
it is for most people.
Like I cannot stand to hear somebody like chewing in the mic, like eating
right close to your ear.
I cannot do it, dude. It just sends me over the edge. It's like it like overstimulates me like super fast. Like, and then everything around me on top of that, hearing that, and then people talking about different subjects at the same time, I'm done. I have to take my headphones off and just throw them. I just cannot deal with it. But yeah, that was too detailed with the sounds.
Yeah, man.
But then it cuts back, like he said, back over to Gojo and Gato.
So they both split up. They're trying to figure out where she is. She's in music class, and basically the teacher chooses between either music room or the chapel because it's a fucking Catholic school, basically.
Yeah.
And so they split. They focus on Gato first. Gato is running down this hall, and all of a sudden, dude shows up. And man, this fucking fight, dude.
Yeah, dude, this fight was so quick, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and it was quick in the manga too. Don't get me wrong, but like, I expected it to be a little prolonged, and then it cut over to the other fight on the next episode.
Yeah, I'm sure they're saving certain other fights.
Oh, dude, I imagine the budget as quick as the fights have been with these other things so far.
Yeah,
the budget for the big fight coming up.
Yeah.
Oh. And I'm not gonna go into detail, but man, y'all aren't ready for that.
So this guy, he's like an older guy. He's got the fucking Gojo going on. Not Satoru Gojo, but Wakanda Gojo.
Yeah.
And he's a Shikigami user. And so fucking Gato summons his stuff. And he's okay, he's also a Shikigami user. I'm gonna just try to bum rush him.
Well, like I like the way he tries to break it down. Oh, he's super young. He obviously doesn't like up close encounters. He doesn't want to, encounter me first. He's like breaking down this whole plan.
I like how
super slow.
It's got like this like shard of glass sort of split off between each little thing he's like analyzing.
Yeah, like it's like a jagged like triangle, like you said, like borderline. It looks really cool.
Almost like it could be a panel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure that's kind of like the same panel that popped up in the manga. Let me look. I'm just gonna compare it real quick.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it didn't do that. I fucking love that panel though on the next part that comes up.
Yeah.
Oh, that full page panel, like that looks good.
He fucking before anything can happen, before he can send his other shit out, fucking Gato hits him with fucking snake.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it was more like a dune worm, like from Dune.
Worm, like it's almost like whenever the girl in Chainsaw Man calls out the snake, because it just like rushes out.
Yeah, it kind of just bum rushes the hallway, and dude, and you might have not, you might not have noticed it. You might have noticed it actually, but whenever they sent it, the outside view of the worm pushing up against the windows, and it was like throbbing.
Yeah,
like the flesh of the worm was kind of filling in the holes. That looked really cool to me. Like I love how detailed it really was. Which that's always the thing for me. The details are what makes the anime for me. But it cuts us back over to Gato, and Gato's just standing there. And he's just like, okay, well, that's one down.
He's dead. I did it. I beat him.
And then old man flies through the window.
He pulls a fucking Yuji.
He does.
He like first episode, he just jumps through the fucking window.
He basically just bashes into the window in like fucking crouch position with a kunai in his hand. And
but oh no, what's this? Things are what they seem. Gato's nowhere to be found. But there's a dog, and the colors are a lot brighter now.
Dude, this was nuts. Like, this little scene was nuts.
I like
because it cuts from like Gato looking worried as he's getting closer to him, and then it just cuts into him being in the hallway with the busted up window, being in slow-mo, might I add. The window fragments are just falling really slow. There's just a fucking what are those dogs called? Shit. Shiba. Is it a Shiba?
Shiba.
Is that really the name of it?
Yeah, a Shiba Inu.
Okay, all right then. I'll believe you because I can't remember. But he's just like, oh, my dog, the only one that understood me because my parents didn't love me and I had to become a villain. This typical fucking enemy backstory or like villain backstory.
Well, it's kind of sad. It's kind of fucking sad to be honest.
I mean, but it's this, like, you know, it's redundant. I mean, it's redundant to villains.
My family thought I was a freak, and
my families didn't love me because I could see the bad people.
Hey, now, if it was some other random thing, but no, this is a man and his dog. Come on, man.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not sweet and but it's very redundant. I mean, the whole backstory is like repetitive
all of a sudden, Gato hits him with the snapback to reality.
Oh my god, dude. It took 3 fucking transitions to beat the fuck out of this man.
It was like 4.
Dude, and
so I forgot about. I'm looking back at the manga as well. I forgot about how hard those two fucking panel spreads go.
Oh man, yeah.
Of Gato just laying down the absolute beatdown on this man.
Oh yeah.
And they added like 2 or 3 more extra shots to that in the anime.
Oh dude, yeah.
And it's like quick. It's fucking smooth. It looks brutal as shit.
Yeah, especially when he bopped him in the fucking nose, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like just him colliding with his face. Yeah, that was nuts because like you could see the imprint of where his face meshed with his fists, like in the grooves where his knuckles are. You could see that, and then like his nose swollen up all purple and shit, and he's just bashed up on the ground. And Gato's just like, you shouldn't think so little of somebody, or you shouldn't be so like forward thinking about people. Maybe you should give them more of a chance. And I was like, oh shit. Oh, and that's when it cuts over to Gojo.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, also there's a fucking
Leroy has been crying this whole time.
And also the choir's like playing as well in the background.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, this point, like you get this really cool ass, like it reminded me of a excuse me, damn. It reminded me of whenever shit, not Jet, but damn it, Spike was fighting
Vicious. Yeah,
at the church. Like that was basically the same, you know, energy I was feeling right here.
I was with that, like I said this in whenever we were watching it, but hey, for those who know, they know. The whole choir shit makes me feel like Map is just practicing for a very
and
another anime of theirs that we're not going to talk about because we're just not going to talk about it until it happens. And if, like I said, if you know,
man,
you know.
It's good. If you know, you know. If you keep up with the manga, you know.
I'm not going to specify. It's not Jujutsu Kaisen.
But honestly, I'm not even excited for that scene. I'm more excited about the other really cool fucking scene.
Yeah.
Where the fucking ball drops, essentially.
Yeah.
I think you know which one I'm talking about.
I know which one you're talking about. But anyways, that stuff aside, so fucking Gojo's rushing in. He comes into the fucking chapel where the the choir practice is being held, and all of a sudden, all the girls are just like, "Oh, well, who's this cute guy, huh? Wait, is he your boyfriend or something?" They're all fucking just
dude. They're just like fucking googly eyed over Gojo, and of course Gojo is feeding it.
Yeah,
he's standing there posing, and he gets this fucking.
Yeah, he's got the fucking So this is what I want to talk about. So it didn't click with me until this scene about what vibe the season is giving me. It's giving me the vibes of like an early 2000s anime.
You know what? I can kind of. I can.
That even makes me say that even more. Do you know what year this takes place in? 2006.
Oh shit.
So yeah, so no, it is.
Dude, I wonder if they did that on purpose, like, though. I wonder if it was like a purposeful.
Because even though the first season used like chibi shit from time to time, it didn't use it quite as much or brazenly as this season has so far.
Yeah,
I feel like that's because that was like a common thing in like early 2000s anime.
Oh, dude, definitely. Like every fucking anime did it.
That's kind of what like defined aesthetic at the time.
Yeah, one of the heavier ones was like Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail used the shit out of chibi.
Yeah.
I mean the shit out of chibi. For those who've watched Fairy Tail, you can back me up, but
yeah.
But no, he feeds into it and he's posing, and then the teacher's just like, okay, everybody settle the fuck down, shut up, be quiet. You guys don't know how to act like ladies. As she's shifting over real quickly, as she's writing down her number real fast.
Uh-huh.
Gives it to Gojo.
Just like, here's my number.
All the girls are like super jealous, and under all of the distraction, Gojo grabs the girl and says, "We gotta go." And this part's kind of funny to me because like they're running, and he's like, "So there's people after you. They've somebody, you know, there's curse users coming after you actively right now." And he basically just touches her back and making her float as he's just rushing through. I love the transition from like her getting swept up and floating to him jumping on top of the building.
Yeah.
And running on top of the roof there, because that looked really smooth. Like that shit was really, really smooth. Mm-hmm. And then it cuts us over to the second curse user of the hour.
Yeah.
This shit is so good. Because
for those who play Guilty Gear, hey, it's Faust. It's fucking Faust. So tell us a bit about our Bagman.
Well, Bagman, or AKA Buff Skater from Tony Hawk Underground, he meets up with he's basically just seeking out Gojo as he's running, and he's like, okay, so this is the target. And as he like takes down his little spyglass, he gets confronted with the maid, and the maid's just like, leave her the fuck alone. And the guy's just like, what are you gonna do about it, normie? You fucking idiot. You don't even have cursed energy. What are you, noob? Get the fuck out of my face. And it didn't end up too well for him. She rushed in so fucking quick, bashed him in the fucking hand with the side of her broom that she was carrying.
Yeah.
And then immediately used the diversion of him going to punch in on her. She sweeps sideways and then uses the fucking broom and just bashes him in the fucking nuts, dude. He hits the ground so hard. His ass. She hits the ground so hard. Or he, not she. He hits the ground super fucking hard.
Yeah.
And then it cuts us over to...
Oh, no, Gato immobilizes him.
Oh, yeah. Gato... And this is where we find out that it's not... That wasn't really him. It was just a different form of him.
It was a clone.
It was a clone.
Damn shadow clone.
You damn kids.
Fucking weeb-ass Naruto fucking watcher. You fucking hugging a bunch of bullshit.
You can only create 8 clones, noob.
Yeah.
But no, Gojo's fight was nuts. Because he gets circled, like basically just gets, surrounded by this guy's clones, and he doesn't realize that it's clones at first, and neither does the girl. And he gets surrounded by all these guys. He's like, man, all this fucking like shortage of jujutsu sorcerers, and we have to face against these guys. We wouldn't hold it against you if you just switch sides. And the guy's just like, nah, public I can't, like, public jobs are just as dangerous as what we do now, so I get more money this way. And Gojo just raises his hand, bashes two fucking clones together out of nowhere. He just pulls one from this side and one from this side, and they meet up in the middle above his head. They just bash out. And that girl's confused. She's like, this is not a regular Shikigami. What's going on here? And he's like, that's because it's not. They're clones.
Oh yeah.
Meaning that they don't bust apart. They just take damage. And depending on who the real person is, the more damage we do to the clones means the less damage that we have to deal to the main person. So he's bashing these two clones together, and then two more come in to rush him. And whenever they do, they go to punch him in the face. Both of them get stopped simultaneously. And he bashes both of them. And we get this cool-ass fucking explanation of his powers. And the way they did it, dude, it looks so fucking good. It looks so good. Because he takes his glasses off, his sunglasses, and he throws them, or no, he doesn't throw them, he puts them above his head, and then he drops them over his face. So we get this really cool little transition of glare from his face, sunglasses, and then his face again, and then it stops.
I just realized the round glasses also kind of signify like an infinity sign also.
I didn't know that, actually.
No. Well, think about it. There's two round glasses. He's holding them sideways.
Oh,
yeah. While he's explaining infinity, that's just something that just clicked with me.
Well, it makes you wonder if it was like intentional. I imagine it was.
I think it had to, dude. The way he was holding it was very intentional.
It really was, and it was used. It was used well in the scene for it not to be take it as like an infinity sign too. So
he starts explaining infinity, and then
and we'll let you guys delve into that on yourselves, because
I'll try my best to explain. It still makes my brain hurt a little bit.
I mean, technically
it's explained well, but it's just the way it works is like extremely fucky.
He basically has the ability to stop people before they reach him by slowing them down incrementally before they get there. And it gets so slow at one point that it completely stops them in time from reaching him.
Yeah, or as he says, basically it's like a scale of numbers with like, I guess like the center, him being the center being 0.
Yeah. Like the math behind it is explained through an entire manga it takes what, 8 fucking parts to describe his power, like correcting the power throughout the later in the manga series.
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Dude, it took a fucking engineer to figure the shit out.
I like how he describes the duality of it by referring to it as Achilles and the tortoise.
Yeah. That was an interesting little
if I remember correctly, it's also the name of the book that the guy who made the manga read. Yeah. It's like a mathematics book.
Yeah.
And he's I'm trying to fucking think.
So the guy's like sitting there listening to Gojo.
He's sitting there fucking listening to him. The other cool thing is glass. He talks about how like if he pushes it outwards, it's like he's using a natural negative to expand shit and then draw them towards him like his own fucking graviton surge.
So in a way, he's using negative and positive energy to repel and attract different things that he wants to do. So he can basically use his infinity by expanding it, and not so much as a domain, but like a bubble. Like he can stretch it out really far, trap people in it, and the people that are in it, he can use energy opposite of what they're projecting to repel them or attract them to him. And it's nuts depending on the energy that he uses. And I'm pretty sure positive repels and negative
we see it with like his red and blue.
Exactly. So
and that's the other thing I like is he's also talking about I also have to like worry about the shit around me as well and take that into account. And it's like shit, man.
Like Gojo's powers are so convoluted. That it's insane that he even has.
Motherfuckers, you'll understand this, or anybody who's watched Hunter x Hunter will understand. Fucker's got Nin.
Yeah, basically.
Nin is probably one of the most extremely convoluted power scale methods.
Which is why it's
in any fucking anime.
I mean, that's why Nin is being explained in every fucking episode of Hunter x Hunter almost.
For those who don't know, in Hunter x Hunter, Nin works on percentile.
Like there was an entire arc explaining Nin.
Yes.
Like that's the insane part. There was an fucking entire arc explaining it. Like and different types that you are, and depending on what different types you are, you can only use different fucking forms of Nin. It's insane.
It's fucking nuts. But that of a Hunter x Hunter aside, dude, so he fucking he's like holding on to the girl while this is all happening. He fucking
tells her to fucking hold her head.
Yeah, hold her head. I fucking love this shit. Like so he's like just holding his fucking hand out. And at first, like in the blank space, and all of a sudden we cut to him breaking the fucking office building. Like the glass shattering in front of him.
Oh man.
And then it's like, oh shit, dude. And then he starts charging up because he's like, all right, well, get a load of this. I'm about to fucking kerfuckle you. And he's charging up his red.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting for him to just like fucking blast this guy into oblivion.
Yeah. And then it charges all the way up, right? But it then condenses back down into nothing. And he sits there and he's like, oops, I fucked it up, and just bashes him in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Oopsie poopsies. Maybe next time.
Sorry, did you think you'd be getting a full-on red start of this yet? Nah, you gotta
Hell nah.
You're gonna have to fucking wait for that shit. You gotta work for it.
Yeah, they had to edge you on this one. Like
So he takes this fucker out. I like how after he settles it, just like how in like the beginning of season 1, all the shit floating around him just starts to just fucking drops.
Oh, dude, yeah, it looks so good.
And so they're
but I mean, the episode ends with her picking up her phone and noticing that the maid had been captured.
Yeah.
And we will get more into. I want to see what the anime does before we describe too heavy what's going on, because I want to see what they do. I really, really do want to see what they do in the anime, because I hope that it goes differently. Yeah. I hope there's some added themes, but you'll understand more when you watch episode 3, because it'll be the direct coverage of it. Because the manga just describing this scene is a bit of a letdown. It's a bit of a letdown.
Yeah. It's one of the few confusing parts in the manga.
It is. You just kind of have to ignore it and move on.
It is something that, like, even me myself, like, it caused me to have to go back and like reread to make sure I was reading it right.
Right, and we're not going to spoil it for you for no reason, like, at all. We would never do that. But
we're not going to do that. We're not going. Like I said, we're not going to talk about shit in the manga until it actually happens, unless it's something that's like neat, like a neat detail, like say like the whole thing with Geto's monologue being at the beginning of the last episode rather than towards the
right.
Unless it's something like that, but if it's not immediately addressed in the the episode, then we're not going to cover it until it is addressed.
But
as another good fucking episode.
A fucking fantastic episode.
Another banger.
Oh, man, I know it's not going to be the next episode, but I feel like episode 4.
Or it'll, because if it does what I think
it has to wrap up either in 4 or 5.
Yeah. 6 because this does both hidden inventory and premature death.
What now?
The chapters this covers is both the hidden inventory arc and then the chapter called premature death.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the first episode was
which is like the epilogue of hidden inventory.
I feel like they're going to be covering up, like you said, about 6 episodes, and it'll wrap up.
It depends on how much new shit they add. It could very well be a little bit.
I feel like, and I'm hoping this, like the 3rd episode is going to be what we think is going to happen. But like I said, we're not going to discuss what we think because it would be giving stuff away that we don't want to. But given that, Bopsto, is there anything you would like to add?
Nah, man. I mean, it's another another fucking banger from MAPPA. What else is there to say, really?
I mean, I'm right there with you, buddy. Like that.
It's got the fucking emotions on point. I like like I said, the sort of early 2000 style.
Yeah.
I guess to say the other thing I wanted to mention that also, makes me think that it's very intentional to doing like the early 2000s aesthetic, and that's whenever Gojo shows up at the school and he's all posing and shit, it's like that's like a flowery border around him, which was a thing that was in a bunch of fucking like romance anime at that time.
Okay, so I mean, we'll see what it does with the conversion over to the modern day.
I'll be very interested to see that as well.
I'm also very interested. I just hope it doesn't, I know they're only going to be covering like maybe even half the series, or like half the season, and then they're going to take a break and then cover the other half most likely. Yeah. But I hope it doesn't, I hope we get to see the modern era before they take a break.
I'll tell you what they'll probably do. They'll probably line it up to actually be either on or around Halloween.
Yeah, I think that they're going to, and you guys won't know what we're talking about, but I think the way they're going to cut the parts off is this part being the build-up, and then the second part being all of Shibuya.
Yeah.
And you guys will know more about what we're talking about later. Obviously, I'm not giving nothing away by saying Shibuya, but the manga readers know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, I've said my piece on it. This was a great episode, and I know there's probably gonna be many more to come. If you liked the episode, just let us know. Let us know how much you liked it. Like, subscribe, maybe. But more importantly, we really do want to hear. We want to hear y'all's opinions.
Yeah, I'd like
on the episode, on what you guys think about our podcast. But more importantly, we just want to discuss about the episodes because that's what the channel is about. Just full on discussion. Yeah, I know we cover each episode piece by piece, but the reason we do that is so that we can discuss each scene in detail and what we got from it. Yeah. So
anyways,
but
I don't really have much else to say.
Me neither. So Bopsto, why don't you carry us out?
You see, I'm Bopsto, the Oda Weeb.
And I'm Red, the bald-headed wonder.
And you just got done watching the Anime Boys.
The Anime Boys. See ya.
See ya.